What's the Chow Chinchows LanturnJoe here. Welcome back to another episode of the GGDL. What is this league called again? This is the Glitter Gang Draft League. This is our week 2 match against Goki Gamer. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. Goki is one of the best coaches I know. He is really, really good. And I love what he does with his work. Honestly, he's a great streamer as well. So you should really go and check him out. Let me see if I can find what his team name is, because I am bad at doing that. I probably should have done that before starting this episode up. Let me bring up the... throw that over there so I don't, so you guys don't see it. Because it's not important to you, it's important to me. Goki's team name, where... team roster. Goki is the Milwaukee Medichams. There we go. Took me long enough to figure it out, but Goki is the Milwaukee Medichams. So we are taking on the Milwaukee Medichams today, and Goki Gamer is the coach of his team. He has brought this week with him his Volcanion, Glaceon, Lickitung, Aegislash, Clefable, and Galarian Moltres. Where my team consists of Mavis the Florges, Clawsman the Armaldo, Snorfor the Snorlax, Bonekeeper the Mandibuzz, Jamie our Mega Venusaur, which I actually do Mega this week. Spoilers, I'm actually smart enough to remember to Mega, and Tyson our Greninja. So let's start the battle. So he starts off with his Volcanion whilst I start off with Tyson the Greninja. I go and U-turn out of here because I don't really need to be in here with against a Volcanion. That is not a good idea for Tyson. So I switch out into Florges, who can deal with this a lot more effectively. He goes for the body press to do a lot of damage to me. He tried to... I will admit he did try to counter my dark types pretty well in this game. I go for the Toxic because I wanted to poison the Volcanion. Sadly, I could not do that. He switched into his Aegislash. I switch out of my Florges into a Molder to try and get the EQ off. Sadly, I was not able to get the EQ off. He does get an Iron Head off, and it hurts a lot. I do go for the Earthquake this turn, but sadly he King Shields, so sadly no Earthquake for Joe. I stayed with Armaldo because Armaldo's pretty much done at this point. If he can't get the Earthquake off, really, what good is he to me? I go into Greninja here. He changes back into his shield form and gets off the King's Shield again. I go for the Dark Pulse. I am Choice Scarfed into... well, I'm Choice Specs this week, actually. I'm Choice Specs into doing these moves. He switches into his... Lickitung. It does do decent damage to the Lickitung, I will admit. I switch into Snorfor, my Snorlax. He goes for the knockoff, knocks off my Figgy Berry, which is kind of annoying because I kind of wanted to use my Figgy Berry to get myself back up on HP. He goes for the Seismic Toss. It does quite a bit of damage to me. I go for the Superpower. It does a lot of damage, but somehow Lickitung is beefy enough to take that. He goes for the Facade. It doesn't really hurt me, and I finish him off with another Superpower. But my stats are kind of awful at this point, so I will need to switch out. He goes into Pinky his Clefable. He sets up the Cosmic Power, and at this point I'm all like, no, you do not do the Stored Power Sweep. But apparently he wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, so it wouldn't matter. He switches out of his Clefable back into his Aegislash, so it's perfectly fine. I did a Mega Evolve my Mega Venusaur, so this Jamie is fully Mega Evolved now. He goes for the stats change again and goes for the King Shield. I was going for the Earth Power, which is kind of annoying because I kind of wanted the Earth Power off, but sadly, This Aegis Slash is bulky as hell. He goes for the Moltres. I went for the Earth Power, thinking he might stay in for another turn, but sadly he did not. I switch into Florges. Just realising what typing Galarian Moltres is, because I haven't really played around with Galarian Moltres a lot, so I switch into Florges, go for the Moonblast. Sadly, this activates his Weakness Policy, but I'm okay at this moment in time. But he does go for another Air Slash, which does do round about half, and I flinched. Kind of annoying. He goes for another Air Slash after that. I live on 9. This time I actually do get off the Moonblast, and I am able to take out the Galarian Moltres. He goes back into his Aegis Slash. I go for the Energy Ball to do a little bit of damage, see what he's up to. And he goes for the Iron Head to finish me off with the Florges. But the Florges is pretty much done at this moment in time. It couldn't do any more damage than what it could have done at that point. So it is what it is. I switch back into Tyson, my Greninja. He does his King Shield thing again. I went for the Dark Pulse. Sadly, I could get the Dark Pulse off. Because he does his thing. He goes back into Pinky. I'm Choice Scarfed into Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse will do okay damage to Pinky. Not great damage, I will admit. I switch back into Venusaur, who is the better choice for this. He switches into his Glaceon. I do not want to be in on a Glaceon. I switch into Snore for my Snorlax. He goes for the Freeze Dry. It does not do a lot of damage to me. He switches out of his Glaceon into his Aegis Slash. I went for the Superpower, hoping he would stay in and kill off the Glaceon. Sadly, it did not. He switched out into Aegis Slash. He goes into... His stat changes. He goes for the Sacred Sword. It takes out my Snorlax. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty much... I'm not sure what else I can do. I go into Mandibuzz, thinking I go for the Foul Plays. To try and get rid of this darn Aegis Slash, because it is way too bulky. He goes to the King Shield again, which really annoys me. He switches out into Clefable again, kind of still annoying. Still I am choiced into this though, into my Foul Plays. Choice Banded to be precise. So I switch into Greninja. And he goes for the Moonblast, destroys the hell out of my Greninja. I probably should have gone into Venusaur at this point. At that point there. I go back into Venusaur now. He goes into Aegis Slash. I go for the Earth Power. It does do decent damage. And he goes for the King Shield again. I am trying to go for Earth Power. Sadly, I do not get it off. It is perfectly fine now. I go for the Synthesis to try and get back up to 100 HP. He goes for the Iron Head, which takes me back down to where I was before, so there's really no reason for the Synthesis. I go for the Synthesis again to get back up to the HP, because I want to be back at full HP. He goes for the Iron Head again, and I'm not at full HP. It's fine. I do go for the Earth Power this time, because I'm kind of annoyed, so I just, it's like, you know, to hell with it, I'll Earth Power this turn. So I do. And then I go for the Earth. If it switches into his Volcanion, I go into the Earth Power again. He goes for the Flamethrower, and I am thick-fatted enough to take that. I go for another Earth Power, taking down the Volcanion. I think he forgot how fast and how bulky Venusaur is, which is my problem. Which is his problem, really. He switched into I switched into my Mandibuzz here. He gets the Freeze Dry with Glaceon and gets the Freeze. So that's Mandibuzz out of it. And Mandibuzz was going... I had so many ideas for what Mandibuzz was going to do. Sadly, none of them came off. I switch back into Venusaur, get a Synthesis off. He goes for a Freeze Dry. It does not do a lot of damage to me. I go for the Sludge Bomb. It gets a critical hit, and he goes for the Yawn. He switches out into Pinky, his Clefable. I go for the Sludge Bomb again. It takes out Pinky. And I go to sleep. He switches back into his Glaceon. I'm fast asleep. He goes for the Freeze Dry and almost kills me. I wake up, hit the Sludge Bomb, because I'm able to outspeed Glaceon somehow, and take down the Glaceon. What battle. My God, that was a battle. I honestly thought that I didn't have this. I honestly thought that I didn't have this. There were moments in the battle where I thought I was done. There were moments in the battle where I thought I had it won. And that battle had everything. And it was just so good, so enjoyable. I really enjoyed having this battle with Goki. Goki is an amazing battler. He's also an amazing streamer on Twitch. And I will leave his Twitch channel down in the description below. So go and check him out. I don't remember when he streams, but he does stream from time to time. And he is a really good streamer and you'll love him. He's a little bit off the wall, but like that's okay. That's okay. As someone who is a proficient watcher of his videos and streams, I know he's a little off the wall, so he's not for everyone, but I think you'll enjoy him very much so. But until next time, I am LanturnJoe, your coach of the Chester Chinchous, and I will see you next week for another battle. Who have I got though? Honestly, I don't know. I'm excited to find out. I'm going to find out. Hang on. Schedule. If this document would load a lot quicker, that'd be great. Schedule. Game schedule. Week 3. What have I got? Week 3 is... It is SLZ. Who is SLZ? Team roster. Who is this? Wait, hang on. Coach roster, sorry. SLZ is the sleazy slackings of Big Daddy Bob. That is who we are facing next week. I am looking forward to facing this team. It should be a rather good battle. We will be back for it next week, but until next time, I am LanturnJoe. Me to the Pokemon get to Larsa. Everybody get Pokemon. Good night! Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, then please consider leaving a like, comment and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at LanturnJoe, where you'll get news, thoughts and opinions from me and the rest of the Lantern Nation. You can also check out these two videos in the top right and top left hand corner. And don't forget to check out Power Zone Metal. It's a weekly radio show where you can listen to heavy metal music and so much more. You can find out more information about that at powerzonemetal.uk. But until next time, I am LanturnJoe, and I will see you next time.